This is Tower of Limits. I'm hitting record. Thank you to the developer for making this game. Let's get into it. Welcome, traveler, to this realm of challenge and limits. Now, you know what I immediately like about this game? It's beyond expectation, because they're like, limits and challenge? You're going to go beyond it. Do other realms know you as Reed, or is another name you go by? I'm going to be Reed, because we all love Reed, don't we? There's a place where you can try to break your limits. Here's some helpful information. Would you like to hear it? There will be a reward at the end. A reward at the end. This here is the market. Here you can get things from the shops here. Sorry. I should start the timer, my bad. In order of left to right we have item merchant. Most 8 basic items are sold here, where you can buy most items from them. An accessories merchant sells accessory. It's so funny. Weapons merchant sells weapons, where you can buy all accessories that are available. The librarian sells libraries. Skills and knowledge. The librarian can change your class and is selling skills books that can be used for skills books that can be used for skills. Some classes are locked till you complete the hour ascension. Till. Some classes are locked until you complete the tower ascension for the first time. What is this? Blueprints? The blacksmith gear shop. Here you can get all the equipment you could ever want for each class. Leaving the market will take you to the front of the Tower of Ascension. I should just make the blueprints in RPG Maker. I'm gonna write that idea down. New idea. Make an RPG Maker demake of blueprints. Lol. That'll be fun. Blueprints 2K3. Sorry. Leaving the market will take you to the front of the Tower of Ascension. Tower of Ascension is both the anchor of this realm and the focal point. Wow, I need a drink of some liquid. The Tower of Ascension is both the anchor of this realm and, this is where you can grow stronger and get loot to sell. I like this sort of idea of like a hub that you go out from. Hopefully the rest of the game delivers on this promise, because, hey, I like it. Here's some money so you can buy some things. Music, please? Can you have music, at least? Okay, cool. Do I check out my wares? Can't buy anything yet. Hello, I can use my Nolgedi of the world to change your class. Hubs can definitely be great. Diablo 1 comes to mind. Yeah, and they're an easy way to sort of, for a jam, to like create some sense of longevity, I guess, and like gameplay. What I will notice, for example, here is that with game jams like this, sometimes I just crave some good gameplay, you know? Because after a judge plays a lot of like, you know, very story heavy stuff and with a few battles, but the battles don't really eventuate into something, games with good gameplay really do stand out to me, at least, where it's like, let's play some game, you know, and it's a good game and you can get items, equipment, have fun, you know. It's the element of RPG Maker game jams in particular that sometimes comes second to like texture and story and all that sort of stuff. I'm just going to pause while I respond to Steel Soldier. You can have that one main hub that works as a town or safe area, then have a couple of dangerous exploration. Yeah, exactly, yeah. And you can just like focus on the gameplay. Look, one thing that other engine-based game jams do more often is find the fun and then they just expand from there. But because we're an RPG Maker, we usually go, hey, we're doing a story-based game and you don't really find the fun first. You sort of just make as you go and you try and make something that's a full story. But if you do like very few are like, hey, let's take this battle system and make it focused around the battle system and make the story a secondary thing and try and make the battles as fun as you can, because that's not really what RPG Maker is made for as an engine, technically speaking, but it can be. You can make it like that, and there have been, I mean, there's a person in chat here who did, well, there's a few people in chat here did that. I mean, Rame's entry did that in a different genre, albeit, but it was like, hey, core gameplay, set the story around it, and it feels really, really good. And there are other games in here that did that as well, yeah. Anyway, I'll start the timer. I'll continue the timer. Classes. What class would you like to change to? I think that's why Raymond's entry stood out so much for me, because it's so strong in the gameplay department. Swordsman. You change to a swordsman. This is cool though. You get a class, but what difference does it make? That's the only thing. I mean, I'd love to be a knight. Skill books. Oh, multi-power. Yes. Yes, please. I like school books. Oh, is it like you can teach it multiple times to different people in your party? Even this is quite interesting, like... But please, music here, please. Music? Hey, would you like to check out my wares for each path of power? Yeah. Oh, like, knight? Okay, this is it's a bit janky, because, like, I would just have one class. Like, you don't need to have a lot of different classes, especially when you're not going to explain what each class does, you know? Oh my gosh, really? Oh, never mind. This is too unwieldy. Like, you go knight, armor. Yeah, no. I don't have any money, by the way. This is just too many options. Another interesting... Oh, I can sell my multi-power book? Yeah, let's do that, actually, because we used it, didn't we? Another way to make hub interesting, I'm going to pause the timer, is how so you start with limited options in the hub on the start, and you slowly get more and more things in the hub, and that is another form of progression. Exactly, yeah, exactly. Like a game by another person in chat here, Raim. Fortunately, Vanilla MC isn't just built for branching menus like that. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be... But I just feel like, yeah, it's really just have one class, one shop. Too many options from the go. Yeah. You can go for one night. But, I mean, hey, this is a pretty decent hub. Wait, what? Oh, wait. Tower of Ascension. Oh, it goes that way to Tower of Ascension? What about the other way? What's this? This is confusing. Both go the same... What is going on here? Hilarious. Wait, what does a sign say? Oh, and a sign that you can't interact with. Very cool. And then you can't go into this house. Both ways go to Rome. Agreed, Ram. Yeah. So I would just have one class, or maybe start with one class, have the player unlock them over time. Exactly, like, you know, Vampire Survivors and unlocks characters over time or something. But with a jam game like this, I just encourage one class. Should be fine, you know, unless it's central. Hey there, traveler. Before you head into the Tower of Limps, there's something you should know. Once you enter a level, you will get cursed. What does that mean? Why would I be cursed as soon as I enter a level? Second thing is, oh wait, once. I would just do the number one. Second thing is you can't backtrack unless you fail them for some reason, and you get teleported to the market. Third things is, due to this, none really get past the first floor, and nothing is really know about the tower besides what the curses are and how many floors there are. Wait, what? I love that this is a tower Garud. What is a Garud? Is that something, you know, cultural? I know, it's a misspelling of God. But... Well, Garuda is a Hindu deity who primarily depicted as mount of the Hindu god Vishnu. But no, Garud Sandstorm, yeah. I don't know what that meant, so are you ready to go through? They just asked, are you ready to go through? And then we go. Endless roguelike. I suppose so. The curses that inhab the... Why would you shorten it to inhab? Those curses that inhab the floors. Why? Naked curse? Why we... Wait, what? Naked curse? Hopefully this isn't R18. Madness curse, weakening curse. What is this? Why is there no music? Bring back the music. The curse lives there. Okay, tower statue. Oh, yeah. Honestly, a roguelike that's quick and responsive is not a bad idea. Multi-power. because then you could just keep adding things as you go until the deadline hits. A lot of people fail to complete their story because they chose a linear story, but with a roguelike, you just put a beginning and an end, and you make the roguelike things as you go, and then at the end of the jam, you just call it finished, you know? You can just make the story beats at the beginning, and they don't have to be very hard at all to reach, and then you just make gameplay in between, you know? I don't know. It's an easy way, I guess, to get a game jam structure going. And it's how they do it in a lot of other engines, because other engines are more catered towards, say, like, gameplay. Yeah. Do I have any healing items, or can I go get them after I've won? Probably after I've won a protect. I don't quite understand that protection spell. What does it do? It is like put a defense sort of buff on those with low HP, even including yourself? I would make these initial level 1 enemies get killed in like 1 or 2 hits, maybe even 1 hit. Depends if the roguelike has a lot of RNG, can be tricky to playtest. Yeah, it can be, yeah. Technically, you could make a roguelike with no RNG. You could have every formula in the game be completely deterministic. I've often thought about RPGs where it's completely deterministic. I think it'll be quite interesting. Is there any major AAA RPGs that are completely deterministic? As in, there's no random elements at all. Breaking through the limits of the body. I love that description of the limit break. It's pretty great. Look at this. Yeah. Limit break. Breaking Thorg the limits of the body. Pretty hilarious. And true, you know, you literally are breaking through the limits of the body. But, you know, this is even a good idea for people who are new to the engine as well. Like, it's a great starter, you know? You get a sense of how to, like, curate a gameplay loop to make it fun throughout, you know? And you can focus on the thing. I've played a lot of Management VM that tells me everything is deterministic. You'll get the same ending if you do the same stuff. It's fair. Right. Oh, yeah, right. I see. But I mean, like, say if you attack, then it's like, it does like 5 times strength plus 2, and there's no randomization, and you'll always have the same attack number. So, like, everything will be completely predictable. When you cast sleep, it will definitely cast sleep on them, you know, things like that. So, an RPG that's completely deterministic, I just wonder if that, even like down to like the encounter system, every so-and-so steps, you'll get an encounter and it will tell you, like, everything being deterministic. Maybe it'll help people to treat it more as a puzzle than as, you know, something random. I think it'll get interesting, especially for a roguelike, you know. You get a real sense of how you're progressing. I don't know, I might be wrong. Now it's already starting to feel like the novelty is waning. I'm like, oh, the same battle. I might be wrong, actually. I might be completely wrong. The one game you made that has CBS was entirely deterministic. Yeah, that's a cool idea. But then again, I am like I'm a person who has specialized in making puzzle games, so that might be why I'm sort of, you know, veering towards that side of things. But people like to see like a crit hit, right? Oh, I'm peaking, aren't I? My mic is peaking. I should turn myself down a teensy bit. Yeah, more puzzle than like turn-based strategy. I mean, I know like ZDS games are like RPG Maker games, like Cope Island and what else was there? Forgotten. Those type of games were deterministic because they're like more like RPG battles were like puzzles, right? But yeah, now this one now, because it's several hits per person, per enemy, and the enemies are largely the same, and I only am really using the same tactic, it is getting kind of dry. The strategy is getting kind of dry really quickly. Yeah. So a roguelike will only really work like if you make it snappy and quick and yeah. So I realized what I said earlier, it might not be the best thing. I've already done a 360. A 360? That's, you go the same way after a 360. Alright, I've already done a 180. Yeah, but too much HP. Yeah. For sure, Kim, yeah. For sure. Should be a first boss instead of common enemies. Battles should be real quick. Most battles should be super quick and just be like a little bit of a deterrent, and then like you have resource management on top of that, and then yeah, I think Steel Soldier's game in particular did really well with that. It's funny how a lot of the games that I've ended up loving in this jam tend to be from people who have hung out around chat. Not all of them, but I'm surprised at how many have hung out in the chat that have actually made good games for this jam. It's very very lovely. I'm assuming many of them come from like Nova's community as well, that have happened to come to leak over to mine, but I'm very happy nonetheless that I have a lovely audience. Encounter decreaser was found. Oh, now I didn't expect that. It's important to structure a story where you're able to make cuts or changes if you have a timeline. Exactly, Steel, exactly. That's probably a better a better sort of you know, final thing to get out of this. If you have a timeline. Yeah, start and finish, yeah, because then you can just cut to the finish. Oh, then a little tiny... I don't know where to go. Oh, man. Run. I've quickly started to not like fighting in this game. Because they're just HP sponges, sadly. Not just, but it is starting to feel like, where do I go, you know? Oh, no. Oh, no. Decent mapping, for sure, but... Oh, at least they're easy to escape from. Would you like to go up high in the tower? You'll have to face a boss before you can climb higher. You most likely have to break your limits, for the boss has to. Okay, so the game is clearly pandering to me about the theme Beyond Expectations. And it's working. I like that they thought about Beyond Expectations here, because they're like, hey, break your limits for the boss you have to get. And that's Beyond Expectations, of course. But I'm of the view of like, hey, at least you made it obvious to me that you thought about the theme, and you made it core to your concept, and I appreciate that a lot, you know. Is this also the boss? Oh, so maybe they didn't have time to, you know, to do the boss. Or maybe they did. Maybe they did an Aussie actually. Maybe they did an Aussie. Maybe this is the boss. Aussie won't be happy that I said that. I'm going to be calling it, maybe they did an Aussie now, if a developer makes their encounters too hard. You know, oh, you did an Aussie. You Aussied it. Oh wait, I was just trying to adjust some of my elements. Yeah, they accidentally shift the common and making every encounter bosses, exactly. But I'm gonna be, just to make it more of a common experience, I'm gonna be like, if you make your encounters too hard, I'm like, oh, I think this game is Aussieing it a little bit. I think it's Aussieing the wanting it a little bit. Just as a tongue-in-cheek thing, because hey, it's fun to rib Aussie because Aussie has great reactions. Yeah, Aussie would Aussie would love it, clearly. We'll make it an official game design verb. If you make your encounters too difficult unnecessarily, you've Aussied it. Wait, maybe we should make it more clarified, because that happens too often. If you made your encounters boss level, like as if all your encounters are bosses, then you've Aussied it, yeah. Because it's like an as if type metaphor. Like it's almost as if you are Aussie the one. You haven't quite made an actual bug where all your encounters are bosses. But you know, it's like that metaphor. It's almost as if, you know, metaphorical. It's like a, you know, using that literary prowess. Okay. All right, limit break. We're time to break our limits. Yeah, these people are massive HP sponges. These battles are taking too long. But mind you, you are getting a game that is beyond the requirement for a disqualified entry, because it is more than 10 minutes long. Hey, if you want your entry to not be disqualified, this is a great way, you know? You just make battles that are way too long. Then you will definitely not be disqualified. You just don't use any copyrighted material. You know, the thing about judging is that I don't get to join, you know? I would have loved to actually have joined and had an entry of my own. That would have been nice. But like, hey, I like judging too. Because like all of these, I'm like, dang, I really want to have had an entry just to see how it would have gone, you know. But it's nice to be able to judge too. I must really enjoy this one particular enemy sprite. They do. We got swords and shields. It's funny, we've got several swords, even though we have one person. I also forgot to equip my weapon that I bought, because I'm so silly. I'm so silly like that. It pokes out tongue, puts a bag of frozen peas on my head. Then the curses that inhabit these floors: naked curse, madness curse, weakening curse. Is this the same map? Oh, same enemies? No, 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 no. Wait, why am I attacking? I'm confused, am I? Is it just automatically attacking on my behalf now? Well done. It's you know, confused is one of my less favorite states, because all it does is it just robs you of choice. It makes the game less interesting, you know? Unless like you like auto battle games, and I do. If it's like actually, I'm enjoying this battle. I changed my mind. I'm enjoying this battle more than having to make the decisions myself. Yeah, so this is like the auto battle like flaw, right? Yeah, the game has a pool of maps. You just got the same map in a row. Yeah, you need programming. If that's the case, you need programming to ensure I don't get the same map twice in a row, really, or in one run. Someone gave me an idea to give the first enemy a mortal state until 15 minutes mark ran out. Yeah. Making auto battle an RPG Maker is also interesting. And I have had experience in making procedurally generated linked maps, by the way. I have a game called Champs of the Bocker where we linked maps together that had entrances north, south, east, and west, and we did it in a Spelunky-like way where we randomized a maze, and then we filled it with rooms that had randomized chests in them as well, and randomized enemies. It was boring. It was a boring game, but it was fun to program. Making auto battle is in RPG Maker is also interesting. Yeah, I like the idea of making auto battle in RPG Maker, because you just say you have like 4. I'm going to pause the timer. Maybe like 4 party members, right? And it'll be all about the items and the equipment and the skills that you give them, and then they just go auto battle. I think it'll be fun actually, because then you don't have to do all the stuff of like strategizing during the battle. It'll be more about, okay, which enemies do you fight? What equipment do you have? You know, and those are actually really interesting choices, you know? I like that idea. Someone go make it. I'm not gonna make it. Okay, I'll start the timer again, my bad. As long as the auto battle AI is not done. Yeah, you'd have to customize the auto battle AI. So like, yeah, to be smart, I guess. or you have to customize your system to fit how the auto battler AI works, you know, that kind of thing. This is literally auto battle floor. It's actually quite funny to the point of being fascinating. Like, I'm actually not that mad about it. Yeah, I'm not that mad. Especially if, like, a lot of these games require battle strategies that are almost like auto attacking anyway. Like, you just hold down attack, or you find, you know, you heal when you're low HP. You know, you do the normal things, highest damage, you know, and then when you don't have enough MP, you do something to heal your MP. Surely you could make like an AI that's that smart, you know, where it's like, oh, if my MP goes below 10, then I use an MP ether or something, and then if this or that, you know, surely you could make a custom AI for your auto battler AI. Be quite fun. It'd be quite a fun project, I believe. A roguelike auto battler. With 4 party members, and you just like trying, you know, it's like permanent upgrades as you go up. Yeah, quite fun. Feels like out of all of us, Rame Harbit would be the best candidate to go ahead and make this game. Yeah. Oh yeah. You can let the player decide what you can give a profile to each player. Good idea, Rame, for this game that you're definitely going to make for all of us. You're definitely going to make for all of us on behalf of all of us, and we'll just have creative input, and you have to make the game by yourself, and we don't have to make the game because we don't have to make the game. We just come in with the creative decisions, and you make the game for us because we don't have to make the game. Because you have to make the game. Alright. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Why are we not leveling up? We're still level 1. Why are we level 1? We've literally killed thousands of these things. This is a new arrangement of like making games where we just say that someone is forced to make a game and then they have to make the game, right? I'm pretty sure that's legally binding something. Why can't I escape? I want to escape. I want to run away. Why does this game suddenly have good game design? Alright, let's actually fight then, I guess. Oh, attack, yeah. I'm gonna do my own form of, it's called peer, yeah, true, it's called peer pressure, exactly. Gotta do my own form of auto battler, which is holding down the Z button. Why are we getting shorts? Why do we have so many? Look, we have 7 short swords. Why do where's everything else? Where's everything else? We have 7 short swords. Come on. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's the only items we have. Every time we just get short swords. And I'm gonna use like the long sword here. Okay, so here's my actual, you know, real advice to the developer. Cool game idea, actually, but I just need more maps, like different maps, different enemies. When they drop, they don't drop all the same weapon. They drop different weapons, different strategies to fight the enemies, and all that sort of stuff. So that would be the ways in which I improve the game. But I should probably say that when I finish playing the game instead of during. But they just came to my mind where it seems obvious, but we shouldn't probably have every single, you know, enemy in the game be the exact same enemy. Preparing for quintuple, I mean, that would be pretty funny. You know, that would be a fun idea for a game. It's like you go to equip screen, and it's literally weapon, 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 and you just choose all your weapons. Make sure the player does not get in the same room twice in a row. Yeah, yeah, but I don't think the rooms are randomized. I think they just have the same room and the same enemies. I think it's intentional. I almost hope the boss is just a Photoshop version of the enemy picture. That would be funny. The funny thing is, I actually don't think this is intended to be comedic, but it also has some level of competency. Every equipment is a weapon. Yeah, it'd be hilarious. I mean, especially in an auto battle or something where they attack at different frequencies or something like that. That'll be quite fun. And like some of them are ranged and stuff, and some enemies can only be attacked by a ranged weapon, or like some weapons have like equip like I don't know. There was a game. There's those sorts of games like tank games or whatever where they're like, hey, add things to your tank, and it's like it changes your stats, but I can't be bothered explaining. So far, the goal of each door is searching for the stairs. Yeah, that's true. And the funny thing is, it's kind of okay. Like, I'm not tearing my hair out. I think it's because it's fairly easy and, like, it still makes sense. I feel like for a game like this, it would be more sense for enemy counters to be on map than a step-based. Yeah, it's fair. I feel like that is one of the slightest of the game's problems, but yeah, that's fair. I actually don't mind random encounters as much as most people. I don't mind them at all, really. Well, I do, but I'm not as anti. A lot of people are very anti random encounters, and I'm okay with them, but because I think I do have a rant. I have a rant ready. I've never really said this rant, but I think I'll say it after this game. Remind me of the rant about on-map enemy encounters in RPG Maker. And to be clear, I think Steel Soldier had a good solution for it. Tower Master, hooray, you completed the tower. Let's take you back down. You're welcome to challenge multiple times. You have technically bet the realm and can leave anytime you want, but welcome to Contoon climbing over and over again. So what's promising about this is that philosophically, it's an interesting idea to climb a tower just for the sake of it to ascend and to do it as many times as you want. This might be giving the game too much credit, but like philosophically, the idea of a tower that you climb just to climb it and you can do it when you want, anytime you want, and you can leave anytime you want, does have spiritual resonance with me. For some reason. Sir, do you sleep? I do sleep, Rosie, but I slept from 6 p.m. till 12 a.m. And then I woke up like, oh, what? Technically bet the realm. Yeah. It's like I had an early sleep, and then I'm like, well, I guess I've been awake from 12 a.m. to 7 a.m. I'm gonna stay awake till night, and then hopefully sleep when I'm super tired, and then wake up at an okay time. Yeah, a narrow spaces, Ram said. I'll do my rant soon about those on step things. But welcome in, Rosie. Hopefully having a good evening. I think it is for you. By the way, this round was made by a person going by Pokemon Fan 21. Do I know that name? I mean, it's Pokemon Fan. I don't know. It's the dev. Yeah, but do I know them? Let me check. I'm going to check on HIO. You're all right. Thanks, Hubba. I'm actually feeling really good right now. I had at the beginning of the stream, I was like, okay, but Galactic Quest, have I played? No, I don't think I know this person. For some reason, Pokemon Fan 21 rung a bell with me, but I don't think I know them then. Nah, I don't. Never mind. Must be mixing them with someone else. Reed is now level 2. We're level 2, everybody. We're level 2. Everybody, we've reached level 2. See the defense increase reward. Oh, what's this? Would you like a curse? Oh, they're good. They're good things. Oh, you can buy them for 0. Yeah, sometimes streaming killed. Exactly. That's how I felt. I felt kind of a little bit down, and then like after streaming, I'm like, oh, okay, pretty nice. But this is, I mean, legitimately interesting idea for an RPG to be like, hey, can I buy for $0 or maybe even an amount of money, like some kind of ailment to like help me get through this. There's some complex sort of like messaging in there that's kind of interesting. Like, imagine like at the bottom of like, at this hub down the bottom of a tower, and you're like, hey, I need a curse to get through. It's kind of funny. I like that. I like that idea. Yet again, I'm giving more credit. I think there's something funny about this game where there's some interesting ideas about the overall structure of the game. If only it was like everything else was as well designed as its overall ideas. Yeah, I mean, there's the idea of giving yourself a debuff to increase the reward at the reward. Why did I say reward at the end of the dungeon? But not even that, because you see, a lot of this dungeon's rewards seem like spiritual, right? But this is like, okay, maybe if it was like something that's, you could even go really clever with it. I've been playing too much Blueprints, but it's like a madness curse, and then on level 4 or something, there's like some door you can only go through if you're mad or something like that. But I like this idea, even just story wise, not gameplay wise, but like, you know, the surprise of being like, hey, would you intentionally get a curse? And maybe that gives you something weird, fringe. In my opinion, it would have to be like some fringe thing that you find out, oh, if I'm mad, then maybe these type of enemies won't, you know, they'll hit me for, you know, I don't know, something like that. This is the idea of intentionally grabbing a curse, just inspired something in me, I guess. But there's a lot to improve of this game before it even becomes something that I feel is fully competent, I guess. So it did say you've technically ended the game, I think that's what it said, and you can climb this as many times as you want. I think I've technically reached the credits per se. Like you can go through. That's a feature in Mall 3. Oh, that's a game that I don't have. Okay, interesting. And of course Pudding would do it, because Pudding loves to blow people's minds, so... Pudding's like, I am not satisfied with a game that does not blow people's minds in some weird and strange way. And, I mean, yeah, it's a Pudding after mine own heart. All right, but that's the end of my playthrough with Tower of Limits, I think, because technically I reached credits, and I honestly don't feel like playing more because the enemies are not different. Now, here's the thing. Developer, I think you have promise, actually. There's a lot in here that you could just... You don't actually have to edit that much about the game for it to be compelling. You just add more enemies. Honestly, even just adding different types of enemies would be good. Another thing is... what else? Different maps would be good. And now I think I understand where Kimia was coming from with the idea of on-screen encounters, where it's like, oh, you go through a portion of a map and you sort of have to fight certain number of people in order to progress. But my rant about on-screen encounters is that usually you can technically dodge them, and there's a weirdness of dodging them that relies on physical dexterity. And there's also an implication of on-screen encounters that's like, oh, do I dodge them or do I fight them? How many do I fight? And I don't like that it focuses on the weird janky RPG Maker controls in order to dodge them and all this sort of stuff. So that's the sort of direction my rant goes in, is that to step encounters in RPG Maker, it's kind of weird. It's just weird to me. There are flaws, I feel. Even where they do the thing where they notice you and they chase after you, but I'm like, wait, is this a chase game? What is this, you know? I feel like there's a way to balance it where it feels sort of natural and you kind of... Yeah, maybe it is narrow corridors. Yeah. Anyway, that's not related to this game. This game, Tower of Limits, it could be improved just yet by adding more maps, more enemies, different types, and just varying things up, and that will increase replayability and just polishing. And this is a polishable game. You can actually make this into like a good full-length game. It might even have to be longer than the hour, because it's like, hey, you have all these professions and interesting things as you unlock as you. But I think it would have to be more interesting than trying the same the 3-level tower. You'd have to introduce new concepts, new things, you know. Blueprints is an example of a recent game that was the same mansion, but you play through and it randomizes the rooms that you're in. So if you could make like a randomized rooms, but you could draft those rooms or whatever, you know, like there's an interesting idea to be had here with this Tower of Limits thing. It's just not really there. it needs a bit of work to get to that space. But I believe you can do it, developer. I put you on this journey to making a game that you probably already dreamed of. So keep making those games. You're awesome. Every game's a gift. Let me rate this game on the 5 different categories of theme, gameplay, engagement, presentation, and polish. And I will rate it privately, and I will give small notes, and I will, speak them as I speak them out loud. So here we go. Theme, actually pretty on theme, to be honest. The game made sure to be on theme throughout. The idea of the limit break was clearly with the Beyond Expectations theme in mind. It might have pushed the theme too aggressively, slightly, but it was clearly a central concern in the design of the game, and that gets big points in my book. So yeah, good thematic gameplay. The promise of the gameplay was better than the actual implementation itself. The structures around it got me a bit excited. But every single enemy is the same, and every map is virtually the same. If it introduced some variance, at least it would be better. But at least within the battles, it was pretty good. Sometimes it had some variation. Engagement. Many spelling mistakes make it seem unprofessional, but I liked the general concept of a spiritual journey up a tower to challenge oneself. The whole thing just needs polishing, though. But the idea is there. Presentation. Maps. The map. Okay, the maps are fine, but they're too simplistic, and they're repeated several times. Feels a little amateurish. But there is potential to improve. Yeah. Polish. Frequent typos prevent some story understanding. What else? No other bugs I know of, I think. Yeah. All right, that's Tower of Limits. Thank you for making this game. Every game's a gift. Keep making games. You're awesome. Cheers.